Let's Talk Stil'rs is sponsored by Italian Village Pizza, Lawrenceville Distilling. Enjoy their handcrafted spirits. Visit Canton, Ohio. Red Fox Winery and Lounge. Call Italian Village Pizza on Stil'rs game day and say, "Let's talk Stil'rs." And any size pizza is buy one, get one free. Takeout or delivery. Let's talk Stil'rs.
Hello, Stil'rs Nation. It's Tank and Mike from Italian Village Pizzeria. Are you over like your malaria or whatever you had?
No, I'm limping home. It's the end of the season. And,
all taped up?
I'm kind of like the Stil'rs right now.
You're better off than the Stil'rs are. All right, look, if you're turning in for some positive talk, I was positive the last couple episodes. I was trying to, say the offensive line like Zach Frazier was doing good, and I was looking for positives. We finally used Darnell Washington. Look, if the Stil'rs can yell and gripe at each other, I can gripe. So you better just stand there and listen to me talk at you for the next half hour, because I'm not happy.
Well, the positives. You did play three of...
What, Steely McBean got a new hat?
No, you played three of the top 5 teams in the league. So, you
got your butt handed to you.
You get a warm-up. Hey, listen, it's a warm-up, it's a gimme, you know what you're dealing with. So now you're ready the next time. It's always hard to beat an opponent twice. So it's going to be harder for those teams to beat the Stil'rs the next time.
Are you one of these guys that's going to try to sell me, oh, it's the playoffs, everybody's 0-0 going in, it's I don't want to hear that nonsense. Can I get on to my rants,
I'm trying to sell you the hat in your look right now. I'm trying to expand the Stil'r Nation, the Yinzer Nation, maybe a little bit more hipster.
Why don't you give me a tinfoil hat and I'll wait for space aliens to come down.
Go to football.
And I want to start with Arthur Smith, okay, because this guy was brought in to, revamp your offense and get things moving. Is he better than Randy Field? Absolutely. Is he better than Todd Canada Dry? There is no doubt. I could get a guy off this guy Schmo sitting over there with the yellow hair. I could get him and he could call better offense than Matt Canada did. I'm completely disappointed at this point in the season in Arthur Smith. Okay? You're an offensive coordinator, you played in the NFL, you're in a high school game right now. Before we play game one, what do? We sit down and look at what assets we have before the season starts, right? I want to build an offense built around what assets you have. Let's start with your running backs. Matt Canada had no clue what he had in Jaylen Warren. You've been listening to me for 2 years talk about how good Jaylen Warren is. And now all of a sudden everybody's like, oh my goodness, he's good, he should be starting. Matt Canada didn't see it. Arthur Smith, it's taken him, what week are we into now?
Well, Najee Harris is your every down back.
Yep.
Your
workhorse.
Cowbell, but he's not performing the way, he's durable, yes, but he is trying to bounce too much. Najee needs to be a little bit more north and south, and then allows Jaylen Warren to be your little change of pace guy.
Yeah, but you got to use Jaylen Warren. You can't just set him on the bench for most of the season and go, oh boy, he's really good. Najee isn't playing well. You know what? A, B, C, D, E, F. Arthur Smith gets a D- on using Jaylen Warren and his 2 running backs, especially correctly with the tandem, let alone, and you and I have gone back and forth on this, trying to get Najee to the outside. Look, on occasion, Mike, you can do it and it'll work, right? But it can't be remember Matt Canada and his stupid jet sweeps all the time? It's almost like Arthur Smith's jet sweeps are trying to get to Najee outside all the time. So that's my first rant. Okay?
Fair enough.
Second rant. Man, if you looked at the tape of Darnell Washington out of Georgia, a winning national championship program, you knew coming out of college, Darnell Washington would catch anything you throw at him. Not only is he 6'9" and can jump up there and catch anything, but he can catch anything. Matt Canada didn't use him at all. If you're going to build an offense, Mike, now I got you 2 stud running backs. Mike McMahon's offense, not Matt Canada, Arthur Smith. I got you 2 great running backs. Now I got you 2 really exceptional tight ends in Friarmouth and Washington. What are you doing to use them correctly from day one?
Oh, you're using multiple personnel sets. You're using different formations. You're doing shifts and motions. You're trying to confuse the defense. The problem is, like, teams are now subbing back and forth, but I would like to see them spread the ball a little earlier in first down. Maybe throw the ball in first down. Pick up the 6. Get the second and 4 or 2nd and 3. Then go to the heavier set. Now you get the 2 tight ends in, you get the 2 running backs in, and you can actually run it, or you can play action it for the chunk plays. I think it's the first down play calling that's getting them behind. They're just trying to run it first down. They're behind, and now look, spread them out. Maybe use 11 personnel, which is 3 receivers, 1 back. Maybe get a quick passing game in, pick up that easy 4, 5, 6 yards, and put yourself in a 2nd and medium situation. Bring in the heavy package, and now you can run the ball and get the 3rd and 1. Or you can play action and pick up the chunk plays. That's football 101. That's not stuff that, it should happen once every 3, 4, 5 games, not twice a game. This is professional football at this point. And not being able to line up in a legal formation that's, it hurts you. And then those penalties, you pick up those yards, now all of a sudden you get that penalty and you get 5 yards. I mean, hey, if you score on that play, it might be a 40-yard touchdown, that's coming back. So now it's a 45-yard penalty. It's not just a 5-yard penalty. So, you have to be able to make those big plays and capitalize on those big plays when they come throughout a game, and you can't have those negated by an illegal motion or a illegal shift or an illegal formation.
Again, analyzing Arthur Smith's C- offense this year. Mike knows this. I'm big on tight ends attacking linebackers, both in a blocking game, run game, and also getting at them and throwing that pass right in front of them. Attack your linebackers. I mean, Mount Washington's a massive man. Attack your linebackers with your tight ends, especially when you have 2 great tight ends. So with the running back scenario, with the tight end scenario, Arthur Smith has failed. Now I'm going to get into, the prima donna, the head case, Geore Pickens. Mike, you've played with Terrell Owens. You've played with some of the very best wide receivers in the league. We've talked about prima donnas. We all get that with wide receivers. Is this beyond prima donna with Geore Pickens and stuff that's going on? I know you're not a psychiatrist.
Yeah,
if it was your team and you were quarterback, would you be happy with him?
First of all, there is some immaturity there, and I think people don't understand that. And this is hard. It's really hard because although these professional athletes, especially in their first 3 years in the league, although they are getting paid a lot of money and more than they have ever had, they're still kids, and their minds are still maturing at this point, and they're not fully developed, and he needs someone to help him. And unfortunately, what has happened in the Pittsburgh Stil'rs probably the past 6, 7 years.
Breach, brother, breach.
It's kind of gone on. Antonio Brown kind of got out of control. Then you had Juju, and then you had Deontay Johnson, and then you had Claypool, and now you've got George, and it's kind of like a cancer. You get it and you cut a little bit out, and it makes it better for a little bit, but then it comes back. And until you get rid of it completely and hold them more accountable and force them to maybe grow up a little earlier, you're going to have that issue. What do you want your career to look like? Because you're starting to go down this path, and you will get labeled as this bad person. You cannot do this. Now, at the same time, will it come from the head coach? Just like some kids don't like to listen to their dad, and they need a coach to tell them instead. So maybe it might be a situation where Russell Wilson needs to pull him over and be like, hey man, I care about you.
Should have been done already.
I need to hand you over.
Look, this should have been done in OTAs. I'm really frustrated.
No, it's not done in OTAs because you don't know them that well. Once through the season, at this point now you got to have that heart.
I had 2 guys messing with me once, and I got them in a elevator, and I stopped the elevator between the 2nd and 3rd floor. They didn't mess with me after that. You get the point, Stil'rs Nation. I'm a little bit frustrated. When we come back, I'm going to throw out more frustration. Well, look, if Patrick Queen can be upset, if Cam can be upset, if Deshaun Elliott can be upset about the Stil'rs second, you can be upset if you too. Look, here, hold that. No, I'm good. Okay, we'll be back.
This holiday season, the Pittsburgh Steelers are facing one of their toughest challenges. It's the Steelers Holiday Cookie Challenge. Sweet Marie, how I love cookies. 7 players. 60 seconds. Here we go. Which player will bring the heat?
Here we go. Boom, right then and there.
Good ornament right here.
Bing.
And who will crumble under the pressure?
Come on.
It will take blood,
Oh, I messed up already.
sweat,
Oh, that's terrible.
and sprinkles.
Green.
Oh, no.
Who will taste that sweet, sweet victory?
One more time, man. I think I'm done.
Vince is dying.
Is that the best one yet?
Can I eat it?
It's crunch time.
Delicioso.
From all of us at the Pittsburgh Steelers, here's wishing you and yours a very happy holiday season.
Lawrenceville Distilling, proud sponsor of Let's Talk Steelers.
Hi, welcome to Italian Village. You may know us because of our pizza, but we also have a beautiful bar here at the Waterworks Mall on Route 28. Today I'm going to make Randy a spiked hot chocolate latte with parking chair vodka, hot chocolate, nice splash of whipped cream as well. Voila.
Did you say voila? Is that dessert? What is it?
That is a spiked hot chocolate latte with parking chair vodka.
Who's it for?
It is for you, my
Yay!
friend.
Can I try it, please?
Please do.
All right. Everything's good at Italian Village Pizza Trattoria, Route 28. I'm sure this is gonna be great. And it's perfect. It's perfect. Try that right there. Come to the Route 28 Italian Village Trattoria and ask Tara to make you, what is this called?
A spiked hot chocolate latte.
The way the Steelers are playing, I'm gonna eat 27 of these. Cheers. You gotta come to Italian Village Pizza. It's wonderful, really family oriented here. It's a great place with a wonderful bar, and the food is all handmade. You put on 20 pounds this season, eating pizza, please come to the Italian Village on Route 28, Waterworks Mall. You're gonna fall in love with their food, their pizza, the people here. You're gonna become a repeat customer. I see a lot of the people every week coming in and out for the show. All right, I'm on a rant this week. Like I said, if Deshaun Elliott can go on a rant, if Cam Hayward can go on a rant, if Patrick Queen can go on a rant about the Steelers secondary, I can. All right, let me go off here a little bit. This is ridiculous. As you run into the 18th week in the season, as Tomlin says, you're supposed to be a team on the rise every week. This thing is a 1968 Ford Fairlane, and the muffler's falling off, the hubcaps are falling off, the husband's arguing with the wife, the kids in the back seat throwing eggs at the cars going. This is ugly at this point, what's happening. Have you ever been on a professional team that's been this dysfunctional this late into the season? All right, so you didn't play on the 0-16
No,
lines.
but when you're losing that bad, it kind of tends to bring you closer together. But maybe it's one of those situations where they're just trying to air everything out, and then they're going to grow from it. Maybe?
No, I don't, at this point, it's got to be like a symphony in the secondary. Every cog, every piece, the corners, the safeties.
They were injured.
I know that, but the next man up theory is Mike Tomlin's theory. You have to know your responsibilities. That's your playbook.
Again,
and that's what we're hearing is going wrong.
I'm going to be Mr. Positive. This is
okay.
They had their toughest matchup against arguably the best quarterback in the league, Patrick Mahomes, with the most creative play caller in the league, Andy Reid, going up against their first starting backups. So maybe give them a pass. Let's see how they respond this week.
Okay, I'll give you that with the symphony. Knowing your responsibilities.
TJ was out. The pass rush wasn't quite the same.
It's because they didn't even get near Mahomes. I'll give you that the symphony was off with the pieces. But I am telling you this, I'll get back to Patrick Queen in a second, because I've been telling Mike all season, he stinks in pass coverage, and he did it again, and it was ridiculous. But the point is this, and you've heard me say before, I don't care, let's go, I'm 60 years old. Listen, you gotta hit people. Okay, you got to let receivers know if they're coming across the middle. Like a guy named Troy Polamalu. Did he like to hit people? Yeah, he'd take your head off. Back in the day, Jack Tatum, for you guys that remember the Los Angeles Raiders, he wrote a book called They Call Me Assassin. I need defensive backs that want to hit people. Mike, watching the tapes going all the way back to the Dallas losses, the Indianapolis Colts loss, the first Cleveland Browns game, which was a loss. They don't like to hit people. You cannot go into the playoffs, you cannot go onto a Super Bowl run and not hit people. And you know who was hitting people in the Chiefs game and Steelers game? Your coach, Andy Reid, has the Chiefs hitting people and tackling people, because at the end of the day, I don't care if everybody says it's a passing league, you still got to tackle people, and their fundamentals are horrible. Okay, moving on to Patrick Queen.
I just let you rant.
Yeah, I'm just upset like all the Steelers Nation is out there. I read the comments, I'm hearing the comments. This is ridiculous. Again, I use the analogy of the old car with the pieces falling off at this point. The car's falling apart.
Look, it hasn't been pretty all season. Even when they have won, for the most part, all their wins are offense, defense tied together, special teams tied together. They find a way. It's ugly, but they find a way.
Special teams have been great this year.
The Bengals, I think, might have been their best win as far as offensive-wise, scoring most points.
Yeah.
Good news is we're playing the Bengals.
Well, here's the thing. We record the show on Monday. The game's Saturday night. You're watching this Sunday morning. I'm probably either in a jail cell down on the south side right now as folks are watching this, or I'm extremely hungover because we lost to the Bengals last night is my thought on this thing. You're going to say they won?
We got to do 2 segments. All right. Are we? Hey, congratulations, Steelers. You guys won. You guys ended up beating the Bengals. Proved everyone wrong. You've got the 5 seed. You're going down to Houston to get a playoff win against a very beatable team. Or,
you got to go. face the Ravens, and then you got real problems because that's like going into a jungle down there, man. Look, this team should not be where they are right now. I really thought when we were going into Philadelphia, that was the game to prove that you're an elite caliber team. I thought they had the weapons.
Give me the prediction right now. It's Sunday morning. Give me the prediction. Who are they playing?
We lost to the Bengals, man.
You're saying they were going to lose?
Yeah, we lost to the Bengals last night. I could be wrong.
It's a home game. I say they
don't
find
discount
a way.
Houston
I say
either,
they find
man.
a way. They're going to Houston.
Don't discount Houston. They're to the front of
C.J. Stroud. He's very good.
You got C.J. Stroud. You're playing in Houston. Joe Mixon, and they got two studs on their defensive line that both are in double digits
Nico Collins,
for sacks. Nico Collins. So all this.
And
Deontay Johnson, maybe. You know, this optimism that you are going to go into Houston and beat them just because. Well, really? Okay. Well, Blake Bortles can't throw a ball. Blake Bortles can't throw a ball 40 yards. And the Jaguars came in here with Leonard Fournette and ran over you on your own field. The Cleveland Clowns came in here a couple years ago, and we were going to beat them too in a playoff game. I was at that game, and it was snowing, and we were supposed to beat them, and we went home and lost. Now
it's
look,
2025. I'm going to stay positive.
Oh, you're like Tomlin. You refuse. See, I'm one of these guys that truly believes if you do not learn from history, you are doomed to repeat history. All right. I'm almost going to fall over here for a second. I'm going to get a drink at Italian Village Pizza. Wait a minute. I forgot to mention our parking chair vodka. The Steelers are going to cause me to drink. Mike, that's how bad it's getting. I'm drinking the parking chair vodka from Lawrenceville Distilling. When we come back, I'm going to try to look on the bright side of the Steelers. Boswell's having a great season. Wait here.
TV history.
Lawrenceville Distilling, proud sponsor of Let's Talk Steelers.
Hey, welcome back to Let's Talk Steelers from the Italian Village Trattoria here on Route 28. Again, come for some homemade food. Frank, the owner, goes over to Italy a couple times a year. He gets recipes, old school Italian cooking the way it was meant to be. If you want to, you know, you can taste all that stuff out of a can from someplace else. If you want homemade, beautiful food, beautifully crafted, come to Italian Village Trattoria. All right, we got to thank Red Fox Winery. They've been great to us all year long as a sponsor as we wind this thing up before, well, the playoffs begin. And really, I know it's, you know, people say it all the time, the old Jim Mora thing, but really, playoffs. I don't feel this team's ready for the playoffs. but they're gonna limp into the playoffs. I don't care if they beat the Bengals. Again, we record on Monday. We got no idea what happened last night. I'm probably in a jail cell down in the South Side right now. Got in a fight with a Bengals lady. You ever see her? Pittsburgh dad messes with her. The Bengals lady. She cries every time they lose. Anyway, can I tell you my dream scenario?
If I'm the Pittsburgh Steelers, I'm going to win against Cincinnati. I'm going to go to Houston, and I'm going to let the Harbaugh brothers take it out on each other.
Yeah, the butterflies with gold, I'd catch them. All right, look, I want to harken on something.
I think that's the probability.
Yeah, if the world was perfect and your Steelers defense was playing perfectly, well, harkening back to a thing called Blitzburgh in the 90s, you know, the Steelers have a documentary out right now, Mike, about Blitzburgh. And man, I was at that Super Bowl in Phoenix. It was beautiful until I won't mention his name through those 2 interceptions. I was there through those playoff games, and it was a thing of beauty to see the zone blitz work from Dick LeBeau's creative mind. Kevin Green, all respect for him, airborne Ranger, captain. A lot of people didn't know that in the reserves. Greg Lloyd coming off that other side. Rod Woodson back there, Carnell Lake. They played in unison. They played in unison. They all knew where each piece was. We've talked about this before. Bill Cowher required his defensive players to know where the other defensive players were on each scheme. These Steelers don't have that, but that's how you could beat Lamar if they were in sync. And again, I'm beating up the secondary right now. It was a beautiful thing, the zone blitz, because boom, they were on the quarterback. And really, to me, that's the only way you can beat Lamar. You gotta be on him like a mountain lion on a little baby lamb, like
zone blitzes often as much this year, and they're more.
No, they're about the middle of the league in blitzes.
But they rely on that pass rush, and it's going to come down to the pass rush. Whether they play Lamar or C.J. Stroud, you know, C.J. Stroud to me can deliver the ball a little bit better from the pocket than Lamar can. But you want to keep Lamar stuck in there and make him feel uncomfortable. Try to get him outside and try to make throws. If he gets outside and starts running, that's where he's most dangerous. And the Steelers have done a pretty good job, except for that last time. But I think it's all going to come down to how the pass rush does and how they are able to stop the run. Because back when you go to the playoffs, all bets are off. All this offensive football you see, every year it happens. All these great offensive teams go to the playoffs. But it's the teams that are physical on defense. The refs let the playing go a little bit more, the illegal contact. So let me tell you something. Good news for Joey Porter. Because they're going to let him get away with a couple of those holds, those grabs, those PIs, because that's what happens in the playoffs. They let the play go a little longer, and it's typically the defense that is most physical and steps up, and the team that can run the ball is the one that's going to come out and win.
Mike alluded to the old saying, defense wins championships. If that's the case, this $110 million defense is falling apart like that Ford Fairlane. All right, my brother, we will huddle up again after either the Houston game or the Ravens game, and we'll see what is going to happen.
We might have to do the Zoom call. You'll be from the cell, right?
Yeah. All right. Until then, we'll see you guys later.
We're from the town with that great football team.